Good morning, Aloha Friday, and today we have a friend and business associate that I've known many years, Don Dufek from Arizona. Good morning, Aloha, Don. He's joining us live here from Arizona today from Scottsdale. And before we go and I do a formal introduction, I just wanted to mention something that we're doing here at Caron Realty International this week. And you know, I've always had not enough time in an annual meeting, and this year, you know, given all the situation, people going through a lot personally, and especially our agents here in the company balancing life and business, I decided to do a 4-week series for them. And it was really based on a quote I saw: focus on your goals, not your fears. And what we started to do, our week one was Wheel of Life, which has 8 different segments, anything from friends, family, physical environment, financial, and other topics. And we'll be carrying that through for the next month. And a lot of thinking, a lot of homework, but it will set people in a very positive state moving forward to 2021, which I'm looking forward to. Anyway, so let's, we're going to learn all about the Arizona market today. Welcome again, Don. And why don't you give us a little information on what areas you serve there in Arizona, of course.
Sure. I live in the Scottsdale area. I service all the areas in the Valley of the Sun, as we call it, Scottsdale, Phoenix, and all the surrounding cities, probably a dozen cities within a 40-mile radius. And I've been down here for 15 years selling real estate, living here for 22 years. I was doing some investment stuff on real estate prior to getting licensed. So I've been in the market for about 22 years. And like I said, 15 years as a licensed agent down here.
Nice. And tell us, you know, why don't we go over, you know, just a quick overview of what's going on in your market right now?
Sure. As we talked about the other day, you know, pre-COVID, it was crazy. We had 200 people a day moving here to Arizona. Obviously, the pandemic slowed things a little bit, but now that we're kind of coming out of the backside of it, things are getting crazy again. I just had a client that was over at a hotel, and every single person they talked to was in town to buy a home. So I hope they call me. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so there's a lot of people coming down here again, and it's just, there's a lot of things that Arizona has to offer, and that's a draw for these people to come down.
So can you tell me the different kinds of people you're seeing moving, you know, considering moving to Arizona right now, you know, what they're looking for?
Yeah, well, mostly are looking for residential homes. There are some investors, not as crazy with the investment side as it was back in, you know, 2006, 7, and 8 when that whole thing happened. But people are coming and they're buying homes for themselves. They're moving out of high tax states. They're moving out of states that they just don't want to be in anymore. So they're coming from all over the country and for different reasons, you know, but I think most of them all still have a collective sense of why they want to be here with the weather. We got 9 months out of the year that are fantastic. We have 3 months that are pretty warm. Again, we don't have the humidity most places do, so it's more tolerable than some places. But people are just coming here. You know, we've got a lot to offer, hundreds and hundreds of golf courses, hiking trails, biking. Like I mentioned the other day, no natural disasters. It's a great place to be. And like I said, 9 months out of the year, you can plan a wedding, you can plan a party, you can be outside, and you pretty much don't have to worry about being disrupted by weather or anything.
What is the median price of a single family home? If someone was going to move their family, say, let's say from Hawaii to Arizona, what would be, you know, a nice 4-bedroom home in a good family neighborhood, for instance?
You can get really nice homes in the 300,000 to 400,000 range. Certain areas are a lot more expensive. You know, you can have a medium price home in the 700s to 800s in certain areas, from Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, areas like that. But that's why I work in the whole Phoenix area. And like I said, 12 cities, is it gives my clientele a lot of diversity and choices. They can buy a $250,000 home. Some of them are brand new at that price point if they're, you know, a little further away from the metro area, but beautiful growing areas. I mean, we're growing, like I said, very rapidly.
And then I forgot to mention to our audience here that Don actually has owned several homes here in Honolulu over the past 20 years. And Don, what would you say, say a home, if I wanted to buy a similar home as Hawaii Lower Ridge or Kahala, what would be the price range? What would I expect in square footage, condition of the home, etc.? What would you say?
So like Hawaii Lower Ridge, is the price points in there from 1.5 to 4 million roughly, would you say?
Yeah, or they can go as high as 10 million depending on the house, but I would say on average you're looking at around the 3 million mark right now. Yes.
Yeah, so areas similar to that would be Paradise Valley. An acre of land is about $1 million, and you could buy a house on that's a tear down. You're still going to pay $1 million, and by the time you renovate or build a new property there, you're looking at a $3 to $4 million property. So Paradise Valley is a high end area for us. We have Scottsdale, which Scottsdale runs about 22 miles north and south, and is only a couple miles wide. So it's a long city. And as you get up further north, we've got mountainous ranges all around and golf courses, and people build around there. And homes will be 2 to 5 million easily, and can run up to the 10 to 15 million. An exclusive area is called Silverleaf, and there's homes from 10 to $40 million in there.
Oh, wow. So what I'm hearing is you get a lot more for your money, a bigger house, bigger land area for similar luxury prices as you do here in Honolulu. Would that be correct to say?
Yes, I would say so.
And what is the building cost per square foot right now in Arizona, would you say, for a luxury home?
For a luxury home, you're probably between $350 and $500, depending on what you pick out, how big the house is. Give you an example, we just built a new home for my family, and we built it brand new with a builder, and we got the whole thing done for about $315 a square foot in Scottsdale. And by the time we were done, we had quite a bit of equity already in the home, just for what the value is in this area. So we're very happy with the deal we got, and the price per square foot was reasonable on the build side.
Nice. We're finding in the market right now, Don, here in Honolulu, people don't mind paying top dollar, and it's pushing some of our prices up, especially in the luxury markets like Kahala or Diamond Head, but they really want a move-in home. They don't want to have to do a lot of work. Are you experiencing that in Arizona?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that want to move in and just drop their belongings and not have to do renovations. That's why a lot of investors have been able to come in and buy properties at a discount, and then take on the liability of renovating them and then selling them. So sellers are willing to give up some equity to move a property and let somebody else do the dirty work, so to speak. So that's going on a lot down here. And there's homes in some subdivisions, little Gulf communities that are 55 plus communities, where you can buy homes for 200 in Mesa. You could put 25 grand into it and turn and sell it for 300 grand pretty fast. I mean, they're selling as fast as you can get them completed.
And then, talking about the investor market we're touching on, what is the investment opportunities like right now?
They're great as long as you can get a home, at a reasonable price. They're going fast. So you want to try to find ways off market to buy homes. Once something hits the MLS here, it's kind of like a feeding frenzy, depending on the price point. Anything from 200 to $1 million can go pretty quickly. Once you get over $1 million, it slows down a bit, like in any market. But you want to try to find creative ways to get properties if you're going to do renovations and stuff like that. If you're somebody, say some of your Hawaiian folks wanted to buy a rental property over here and do Airbnbs like we talked about, and VRBOs, you can spend a little bit more, get a home that's already been renovated, so you don't have to put any of your own time into it, and put it on the rental market, and it'll start to book really fast. We have people coming almost year round. Hot months, I've been very successful with rentals, almost impossible.
I think your internet, Don's going off a little bit there, a little bit of a lag time. So, we had discussed too that, years ago, within the last few years, people always talked about cap rates on investments, etc. But it seems like people just want to get a piece of real estate these days. I think we had that discussion.
Yes, yes. Start renting it. The cap rates will kind of take care of themselves because the market's so brisk here. You just got to be able to get a property, and that's a challenge in its own right. You know, good quality properties at reasonable prices are moving very quickly.
Well, the nice thing to hear an opportunity in Arizona, which our market's pretty much shut down, is short-term vacation rentals. You know, unless it's zoned for short-term vacation rentals, people need to do a minimum of 30 days. So it's nice to hear that you could actually buy a home and do a short-term vacation rental by the sounds of things.
Yes, I have one, and we do 3-day minimum just because of the time involved. But we can do 3-day minimums. We can do longer, depending on your area. Like I mentioned, HOAs, homeowners associations, will impose rules and regulations where you do need a 30-day minimum. Some are 6 months minimum. Those are tough to get a rental in and try to do things unless you want long-term tenants. If you want to do the VRBO, the Airbnb, stuff like that, you want to try to buy a property in a non-HOA area where you're free to do what you want.
Neat. And I mean, this is a hard question for anybody, but what do you predict for 2021 for the Arizona market, would you say?
It's going to stay brisk. You know, in elections can affect things too, depending on how things go. It can fluctuate either way. You know, it's how things go and what each individual at the top seat's going to do, and how they're going to run things. So, but is just speaking about the market itself, I don't see much slowing down. There's a lot of people coming here from all over the country for multiple reasons. They're leaving different states for reasons. They just want to come here for the weather. They want to get away from the snow. There's a lot of reasons, and we have a lot to offer here with great weather and all the things that you can do here.
No, thank you. And I know personally, I have 2 friends who moved to Arizona, one for a retirement home, and a wonderful home for around, I think, $350 she bought, and then a family who their children were going to private schools here in Hawaii, but they decided to move to Arizona for her job opportunities and his job opportunities, and they're just enjoying Scottsdale tremendously. But Don, I want to thank you for today, and anyone who might be interested in exploring, you know, the Arizona market, you know, please feel free to email me and I'll pass your email on to Don. Or Don, where would people reach you? They can reach you directly too. What would be the easiest way to reach you?
Yeah, probably email at donsluxuryhomes@gmail.com. So you're welcome to post that. Or my phone is open all the time, 602-524-7258. So yeah, I welcome them getting in touch with me any way they'd like to.
Neat. And then what we do, we end our session, we have a look at some of the beautiful pictures that Marianne from our office takes here during the week. So I'm just going to share this with our audience, and Don, you're most welcome to have also see. Let me put this on now. There we go. So, you know, one of the things we talked about in our meeting this week was getting out in nature sometimes really refreshes you. 3 deep breaths, you know, just with all the challenges and changes people deal with on a daily basis right now with their families, their children, etc. And this is a beautiful picture of a rainbow eucalyptus. And Marianne was mentioning, you know, they have a bright green inner layer, and over time, as that inner layer becomes thinner, it goes into different colors. And this is a beautiful photo of a eucalyptus tree. The next picture she's got is the torch ginger, which we all love. And I've just Doug and I've started to grow some in our yard and put into our home every week, which I just adore. And of course, birds. Here is a blue female and green male parakeets. Hawaii has some absolutely stunning birds out there. And the monk seals, and I know, Don, your children love seeing monk seals when they come here to Hawaii.
Absolutely.
And it's a highlight for everyone, and they're very protected species here, and we continue to really welcome them to our beaches. And then, of course, the magic sunset, and Don, I hope to see you here soon. And I know you missed your Hawaii trip this year because of COVID.
Yes, yes.
But you'll be back, right?
Yep, we're coming back as soon as we can.
I know you can. Well, I want to thank you for today, and much aloha, and we'll be in touch. Yep.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day today.
Oh, you too. Okay, take care. Bye.
Yep, bye.